Gotta goose them all. Gotta goose them all.
Gotta goose them all. Gotta read them all. Gotta read them all.
Gotta goose them all. Goosebuddies.
Did you know that the Pokemon theme song originally written by Tom Petty?
Whoa! I would believe it. He did, though. No, he did.
No lies.
He did, though. He chose to remain uncredited because he knew he was rich already and he didn't want any more money.
It's true. He was like, "This one's for the kids. I don't need to, reap any rewards off of this." And he knew that the guy who voiced James was also a country singer.
Yep. There it is. That's a TPT Tom Petty talk. Full Moon Fever fact.
Wow, Full Moon Fever. Oh, listen to Paul with all the Tom Petty facts.
We were talking about Full Moon Fever facts because Tom Petty's got an album called Full Moon Fever, baby.
So we know RL's a huge Petty head now.
Yeah.
He's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, or was Petty inspired by this book? Which came first?
There's no way we could check the dates of them, so
Nope.
It'll just remain unanswered.
Certainly, even if the album were somehow first, the book was in the zeitgeist inside of RL. Bopping around.
Yeah, now I'd be thinking about, how like a lot of classic, rock bands, like how Led Zeppelin's got like references to Tolkien in their books, right?
Yeah.
They're dropping Misty Mountains in their lyrics.
Sure, we all do.
We all do, yeah. How many musical artists have dropped a Goosebumps reference?
Well, Tom Petty himself had "You Don't Know How It Feels to Wear This Mask That's Stuck on My Face. I put it on earlier today and I bought it at a haunted store."
Yep. Refugee is definitely about werewolf in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yep. Don't have to live like a refugee, aka don't have to live like a werewolf in the living room.
Oddly enough, Last Dance with Mary Jane, about Cuckoo Clock of Doom.
Wow.
I don't know any Tom Petty songs. I don't know any of these.
Free Fallin'. What's that one about, Chad?
Chicken.
I was going to say How I Learned to Fly.
Okay, well, that's better, but I wanted to say chicken again.
They're all chicken. Chicken is just packed.
Pretty much every song, when you work down to the base of it, the meaning, the meter, the structure, it's all just a chicken reference at the end.
It all the accounting comes out chicken at the end of the universe, baby. Not 42, it was chicken this whole time.
Hey, guys, happy 150th.
Wow, 150 episodes.
150 episodes young, baby.
Who would have thought?
We got all the original generation captured, except for Mew, which we have to go to a special event to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you can't get or Game Genie or Game Shark, but otherwise, I'm scared about the next gen, guys.
I'm ready for it. We got to get Missing No as well, don't we?
Well, you don't want to capture Missing No. I think that's where you fuck up.
Apparently, they figured out how to do the glitch so you just capture a pristine Mew these days, where you just talk to like 3 people on different corners of Johto or Kanto or wherever, and you just walk out of Lavender Town and boom. Got a Mew. Yeah, I'll send it to you, man. It's crazy. No, it's crazy.
Is there no mystery left in this life? Is there no trial or tribulation left in this life?
I saw a man program Flappy Bird with a Super Mario World glitch.
What?
I think you need to explain yourself a little bit. What do you mean?
Okay. I saw a man put in a series of inputs into Super Mario World in order to write code for the game Flappy Bird and load it.
That's insane.
Well, he used a tool assisted type of thing.
Right, but still absurd. We'll break this simulation soon. We're going to crack the simulation wide open that we live in.
Yeah, we're just trying to do that with real life. And then we can destroy climate change.
Yeah, you know how like that Mario 64 glitch where you just have to kind of keep bouncing off the walls until you break reality? That's what I'm constantly doing. I'm just wall kicking off of stuff and slamming my butt into things.
Or that Super Mario 64 speedrun where the guy saved 4 seconds by playing during a solar flare and it changed a 1 to a 0 and then he got through a piece of the planet or whatever.
Is that a real thing?
That's real. That's the only explanation for what happened.
There
was a bit flip.
Where are you seeing these things? Where on the internet are you looking this stuff up?
I'm on a podcast. I don't have to cite my sources.
I just want to know what cool corner of the internet you're hanging out that people are doing these absurd things.
The sun flare thing is an explanation for a weird speedrun event that was captured on camera that they couldn't really explain at the time. And they tried to recreate it, but it was just a bit flip, which like a lot of things had to go weird with a magnetic field in order to make it happen.
I love all of those things happen to save 3 seconds, which to a speedrunner is everything.
Also, can I so badly say that if for some reason I am worthy of a biography after I'm dead and you guys outlive me, Can you please have someone call it A Lot of Things Had to Go Weird?
A lot of things had to go weird.
I love that.
I love thinking about, events that will either lead to my untimely demise or maybe me paying rent this month. I like to think about the conflicts of events that lead to me existing or potentially not.
I mean, a lot of things have to go weird in a book that we read that gets us money to live every month, and a lot of things that had to go weird in this book that we read, Full Moon Fever.
Welcome to Goosebuds.
Welcome to Goosebuds. I'm Paul.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Chad, and this is indeed our 150th episode of a show where we read mostly the works of R.L. Stine and other YA stories from the 90s and give them the hard-hitting critique they deserve.
Indeed.
It is a pleasure to present to you this episode's book, Goosebumps 2000, Full Moon Fever.
Yes, we are 150 episodes deep, and we are well into the Goosebumps 2000 line of books. A series of books, I think you'll both agree, really hot or cold. The icy hot of books.
Yeah.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
I know what you meant, Paul. I just love the idea that you buy icy hot and it's either going to be cold or hot and you don't know.
It
doesn't change. It doesn't change. It's just either freezing cold or hot. You're like, God damn it, I bought a fucking cold one again.
I've got 3 hots in a row.
I would love to release a product called Icy/Hot.
Which one are you going to get? And also, you're not allowed to touch it before you buy it, because then I would tell you.
Yeah.
We should make a new product called Icy or Hot and make the or really, really small.
Yeah, they're like super strong, so like you're gonna get a chemical burn one way or the other. It's just what kind are you getting?
Oh, you're like, I'm not sure if this is so cold it's burning me or so hot it's burning me, but either way, it's working.
It's come back around. It's gone around it's gone around the bases.
Yeah, it's a medical patch for people who need a localized burning sensation.
Just to feel something sometimes.
Yeah.
Icy or hot?
Icy or hot. These are the ideas that have kept this show propelling 150 episodes. It's been a great time. I love you guys.
I love you guys too.
All right, that's been an episode. All right, good.
Yeah, this book was good. Bye. Just read it.
You should read this one because it fucking rocked.
Full Moon Fever, surprisingly good.
I started this. I got 4 chapters in last night. I started reading it last night. Got 4 chapters in, got sleepy, and was like, I'll finish it tomorrow. And was not looking forward to getting back into it after 4 chapters of this book. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
This might be the most fun I think RL has had being himself.
RL was very happy when he wrote this.
And at last, RL was pleased.
He woke up one day and he went, I think I'm motivated by art. I think I'm creative.
What if I just do all the stuff I like to do? I'll do old crones. I'll do a storyteller who scares children.
What if things just happened in the book? What if things actually happened?
Not one cat in the entire story.
What if I foreshadow an event?
Yo, this book has double foreshadowing. And I would, in any other story, I think foreshadowing that was this blatantly obvious would have made me mad. But in this one, I was like, I think he's setting something up. And then something else happened, and I said, I think he's setting something up. And god damn it, he did.
We usually talk about, or we have talked about several times, the French covers of Goosebumps books. And the French Goosebump cover for this book definitely gives away that it's the candy bar that causes.
What the hell?
What? I'm looking this up. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, spoilers on the cover.
I can't find Full Moon Fever covers. I'm using Tom Petty shit. God damn it, Tom Petty, get out of here.
I know. I googled usually any book of the Goosebumps series, you can just type the name in and you're gonna get the Goosebumps book. This is the first time I didn't. Good job, Petty. SEO's hot.
Yeah. Tom Petty has finally surpassed Goosebumps.
He read this book in 1988 and then wrote Full Moon Fever in 1989, and then finally to this day surpassed it.
Why did the French cover choose to depict 2 emaciated, flushed away Aardman animation looking rat monsters just chomping down on a big old candy bar?
To be honest, they looked more like the French cover in my head than the regular cover. I don't know about you guys.
They looked like how I thought they would appear in the Goosebumps TV show.
Yes.
Which is
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Yes.
in chafing rubber accoutrement.
There is a scene that I want to talk about how I feel it should have been directed when it happens. I'm excited for it. It's towards the end of the book, so we'll get there.
This is way too awesome to depict in a Goosebumps TV show format, though.
There's no way. No, the budget would have been...
No, yeah.
Well, and the things that happen in this book, we're really teasing...
The SPCA would not allow it.
No.
Well, it is, yeah, I mean, this book is all animal abuse.
And a lot of violence, which we'll get to as well.
It actually kicks off with some animal abuse with Alicia, Scruffy, and Robbie.
Yeah, what the hell is this?
Alicia and Robbie are howling to terrorize their small dog, Scruffy. Robbie and Alicia, Robbie's 12, Alicia's 11. They're just kind of pieces of shit.
They're being real big dicks. Mom says, "You're about as funny as chapped lips," which is her catchphrase.
Yep. She gets 2 of those in there. She gets another one in later.
It's like a dad salt, or a dadism. It's sort of like did your dads ever say, "You're really chapping my ass"?
I hardly ever chap my dad's ass, but I think if I did,
his ass, yeah.
Yeah, my dad would say, "You're really chapping my ass right now," and I always thought that was a really good one. I don't know that I've ever had a chapped ass, so I couldn't really relate or empathize with it. But
Paul, was he out of line when he said that? Were you chapping no one's ass, or were you chapping his ass at that point?
I was chapping it. Up.
I mean, I've had chafing before as a young fat kid, and I'll tell you, it is not pleasant.
Okay, so he was saying something. I was really bugging him, wasn't I?
Made it hurt for him to walk at basketball camp. I'll tell you that.
Not dunking with a chapped ass.
No, yeah, definitely not dunking at Christian basketball camp in middle school.
Certainly not Euro stepping with a chapped ass.
We learn that Robbie and Alicia are excited for Halloween. We learn that they like scary bullshit, but they themselves don't like being scared. They just like doing the scaring.
Yeah, they are paradoxes unto themselves. They do not realize that they are paradoxes because they love it. I think they love Grandpa Joe. Grandpa, what's John. I called him Papa John.
Papa John.
Papa's in the house.
Pappy John loves to scare them, and he does a good job at it, apparently.
Yeah, Pop John is lonely because he lives an hour away from his children in a cabin.
Did they say he was an hour away?
Yes, he is an hour away because whenever mom and dad need a night to themselves, Peepaw John takes both the kids up in his place and he scares them for a night.
That's so funny because they made it seem like such a big deal to go up to Grandpa John, like it is an all-night excursion. And then I loved that detail of the parents are not going to visit with Grandpa John. They're going to go into town and eat a nice restaurant without their kids. Like, to not visit their family seems so funny to me.
That's what my parents did. You never got dropped off at your grandparents, so your parents could have a night?
Parents stay and hover.
Yeah, my parents would not go on. Maybe they did dinners by themselves. I don't know. Who the frick knows? But my Peepaw John was not taking care of me when it was that.
You guys never got dropped off to get traumatized by your grandparents' old-timey values?
No, I just got driven around in a smoky Oldsmobile while Frank Sinatra played to learn that stuff.
Oh my God.
It was a good time. So I got to hear some of Old Blue Eyes. It was great.
So Papa John's estranged from his children is what we're learning. Or his one child, yeah.
And he also resembles a large insect.
Oh, I love that description, yeah.
And he's got like mantis arms.
Like he's like rubbing his hands together like a mantis. Like,
yeah.
Like long white arms, skin,
I was hoping, with how awesome this book was, I was hoping that at some point when he had his mantis arms up to defend himself, 2 blades would emerge from his forearms and he would actually have sick mantis blades.
And he'd like teleport behind them and get,
yeah,
nice try, kid. He'd do a tough guy anime,
and the blades stop inches from their throat.
Oh, that's sick. That's sick. Grandpa John's pretty cool. I mean, he just likes to tell scary stories to them when they stop by the camp.
Yeah, RL gets to pitch a few things that he didn't get to make. Headless Fifth Grader. I think Headless Fifth Grader is pretty great.
Headless Fifth Grader was good, and then there was the story about the 2 girls that get sucked to the bottom of a lake, become zombies, and then pull people down to quote, hang out with them.
Bottom feeders.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there were some good ones. Grandgall John seems like he He's got some tales, some yarns.
Do we think that Grandpa John is writing these ahead of time, or is he really just that good on the fly?
Well, you can improv this stuff, and also kids are a pretty easy audience.
I guess that's true.
They know every single time. They even talk about this for like a chapter. They're like, we're going there. His thing. This is his MO. He tries to scare us. The scary story's coming, and it's made up. And every time they get got.
When they show up to Bumpa John's house, he says, "Welcome to my home," said the spider to the fly, which is the most serial killer shit ever. I love this dude.
I know.
And it's also, he misquoted, it's "Welcome to my parlor," said the spider to the fly, is the first line.
Which is way scarier. A parlor is a worse place to be.
Yeah, it's an older bar, so you're a little scared of it. Yeah.
But, they weren't currently in a parlor, so I guess he had to adapt it.
Yeah.
But still, creepy thing. It's Ever Dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight.
Yes, it's quite that.
Level shit.
Mm-hmm. He gets him with this one. Ancestor John hits him with a heater, and it's about a disease called full moon fever.
It's true. He also lays out a bunch of snacks, which I thought was nice of him. He gets Robbie the snack cakes that he likes. So I'm like, oh, Grandpa John.
And I don't know did they say what state this takes place in, but if they didn't, I'd know that they're in Philadelphia and he got tasty cakes.
They had to take a plane to
Vancouver, yeah. Uh-huh.
In order it later. So I don't think it was a northern state. Otherwise, you just drive. That's a fun drive to Canada.
Yeah, hell yeah. Go up the Pacific Coast Highway if you're on the west.
But yeah, he also says a raccoon destroyed his chair.
So that's a Philadelphia thing.
That would be an even crazier story than the story he was about to tell. I wish he had spent more time on the raccoon. A raccoon destroyed my chair.
Yeah, he just really glossed over that one. Pretty disappointed. So he tells his story, right? And he threatens that he caught Tit. So the story is that he was walking in the woods. He went for a walk in the woods in Vancouver. It was beautiful, and he encountered he got lost, and he encountered a cabin with an old woman in it. And she let him in, and she gave him some soup, and she talked to him and told him how to go places. But then she warned him that it was Halloween night, and on Halloween night, if there is a full moon and you are to look at it, you will be struck with the full moon fever.
Mm-hmm. And you'll become half beast and half human. He's like, isn't that just werewolves? She's like, no, it's different from werewolves.
This book seemed obsessed with disavowing the term werewolf. Almost like R.L. was pitching this to his editor, and he's like, you've already done 7 werewolf books. And he's like, no, this is different.
No, this is full moon fever.
Beast.
This is a disease. Which is funny because he does ask if it is a werewolf situation, and she says no, it's a disease, and you're gonna catch it if you look at the moon. And he goes outside and he looks up, and a flash of silver light hits him in the eyes, and he's got it. And then he comes back, and John says to them, "I've got the fever, and I'm gonna give it to you." Even though I don't know that is how we just were explained how you catch the full moon fever. I don't think you can pass it. I didn't know that it was a contagious thing.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason, maybe the moon is just I don't know, like a rat or whatever. The moon is a rat. It gives you the plague, and then you can give the plague to other people.
Typhoid moon.
Ooh, I love that's a hell of a good title.
Typhoid moon.
But he scares the kids, and he's like, haha, there's no such thing as full moon fever. I got you. And then they have a lovely rest of their evening, I suppose.
Can I also just add that in the story, he asks the old lady, who I read it as implied that they hooked up in the cabin.
Maybe.
Whoa.
I don't know.
She had a husband, Chad.
Oh, yes.
He was in the scene.
That doesn't matter.
He was tending his fur traps. No, she would not mess around.
She took him in and gave him soup. You know what? Read between the lines.
She made a sacred bond.
Well, anyway, after he's buttoning his pants, she's like, "Hey, how do you fix full moon fever?" And she's like, "I don't know. No one ever survives it." Okay.
Yeah, she basically says, if you want to survive, if you want to get rid of it, you need to look at the full moon the next month. But nobody has survived the full month.
Wow.
Rough stuff. Big rough stuff.
Big ideas. The kids come back from Grumpo Johnny, and They get sick for reasons, for time like passing reasons.
Yep.
And all of their high concept Halloween costume plans are cut short.
They had some good ones.
Yeah, they wanted to be giant furry bugs from outer space.
Loved it.
Which, again, love a high concept unbranded costume.
Yeah, I really liked that this was. I identify with, oh well, we don't have the money to get you like a licensed costume, so we're just gonna put together some stuff that we had. That was definitely my Halloween.
That was my Halloweens too.
So Alicia's a Teletubby because she has some yellow sweaters and stuff, and they put a cardboard TV set on her stomach and give her a clothes hanger or a funnel or some shit.
There's a funnel on her head. Yeah, she goes, I'm a Teletubby.
Funnel hat. And Robbie is Zorro, the icon, the early 2000s icon Zorro. And he's wearing a cape, and Scruffy does not like that. Scruffy, their dog, does not like that because it's Scruffy's blanket, and it's what Scruffy sleeps on. And Robbie is pissed off about this, even though he's the one who took Scruffy's blanket, and he gives Scruffy a kick, which is fucked up. And then Mom talks about, I don't know, for some reason, for foreshadowing reasons, I assume, Mom says that Scruffy also likes to eat tissues, so don't leave any candy around, because he'll probably eat that too. Definitely don't pay attention to this moment right now, reader. It's not important.
I thought it would end up being a little more important than it was.
Me too. It actually wasn't important. It was kind of a little bit of a red herring, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I don't even know if it actually foreshadows anything as much as just Scrappy's around.
Yeah,
Scruffy's around.
You could have just had Scruffy be around, and I think you didn't need to set up the character trait of tissue eater. You know what I mean?
I think the thing here was animals just eat stuff, which is definitely a theme that will be explored later.
Right. We need to remind people that animals eat stuff.
We have the second of 3 uses of the term pig out, because we want to emphasize that these kids like eating stuff. And they go out trick-or-treating. We run into Maggie, who's in a wolf costume. Maggie is Alicia's friend, and she doesn't have a lot to do in this book, but she sure as hell going to be in this scene.
She sure is there.
They go trick-or-treating. They obtain a lot of candy. I assume some sort of not a lot of hijinks on this Halloween night.
No, they're just going around getting big bars, man. They talk about how they get these like full-sized bars. Or maybe they didn't say that, but I imagine them as full-sized bars. They're having a good night.
They say they get big Milky Way bars, which I assume was full-size bars.
Yeah, they're full-size, man.
Yeah. They name drop Crunch bars at some point, too, which I think is a pretty solid Halloween candy.
I fucking love a Crunch bar.
Arl knows. He did his research this time.
Do you think Arl gives full candy bars at his house?
He fucking better. Damn it, RL.
He gives you a copy of something he's been working on.
Yeah, I think he gives you like a $1 Scholastic coupon, only good towards buying a Goosebumps book.
Damn. And a Lamborghini poster.
Yep.
He has a whole bunch of them.
And a Hall's lozenge.
You'll thank me later, he says.
You'll thank me later.
So the night is winding down, and the kids they want one more drink, you know? It's time for, they're not ready to call it a night. So
man.
They see Mrs. Eakin's house up on the hill, and Miss Eakins does not like Robbie or his sister. Robbie kicked the ball through her front window, smashed it. She said she was going to call the cops on him. But Robbie's like, we're in disguises. We're good. She will not know us. They go up, and Miss Eakins is a sweetie pie, and she gives them all what is called a best bar.
Yeah. They're eating this candy bar, and it's super good.
It's the good stuff.
And he walks away being like, see, she didn't remember us or whatever. We're cool. This is the best candy bar I've ever had. What's it called? And look in the darkness of the night and through their one drink too many haze, and they see Best Bar.
Don't think about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't look at it. Dear reader, do not pay attention to this. Then Robbie gets all chalked up, and the night's still flowing through him, but all places are closed. Says, one more thrill, sis. And he gets down on his knees and he looks to the moon and says, full moon, fever!
Yeah!
And he gets, and his sister sits down next to him, and they get blinded by the light.
Revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night.
And they get blasted, and
they get fucking hyper beamed.
It be a whoops into their brain, and they are knocked out cold.
They are full Beast Wars transmetalized.
Wow.
I don't know what that means, but you said it with such confidence that I agree.
I figured it out from context. Wait, are the Beast Wars beasts just regular beasts that underwent a metallurgic process or something like that? Or
Kevin, I'm happy that you asked. Well, actually, they are Transformers. They are robots, but initially they are more organic looking in their forms to avoid energon radiation that hurts them.
Thank you.
Because there's so much raw energon on planet Earth.
Yep.
And then eventually, after they fight some massive aliens in space, a transwarp wave hits the planet and either kills half of them, the ones that they don't have new toys of, or transforms the rest of them into new forms. They're called transmetals, and they're pretty cool.
Would you say they got Full Metal Fever?
They got oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I think actually it was like from a moon too. I think it was like a fake moon or something. So it was a full moon fever.
What came first?
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm on the podcast.
Why does being in the shape of a monkey or a rat make you immune to moonbeams?
No, it makes you immune to energon, which is on the planet already. It's like it's a form that hides your naughty robot bits, I guess.
Yeah, they leave the animals alone, man.
Why do they need to hide their forms?
Because the energon is just out there. It's like radiation. It's kind of like, I think it's a metaphor for like how humans, once we ate from the apple of Eden, gave us shame and we started to close ourselves. I think energon's like that. This is not true at
Energon is original sin?
Yeah.
Cool.
Think about that. Wow. Think about that interpretation of Transformers.
So they have to hide themselves in the cloak of beasts in order to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mankind knew they couldn't change society, and thus they blamed the beast. That's a Guilty Gear reference for you.
Wow.
Transformers just keeps getting cooler.
So they transform and roll out in bed.
Yep. Robbie wakes up and he's like, someone shredded up my dang ass bed. What a weird dream I had. How did I get back home? And then he looks in the mirror and holy shit, he's got full moon fever, dogs.
And he's like the middle Animorph stage of a werewolf.
Yeah. Oh, horrifying.
He's got the same eyes, but everything else is all fucked up.
Yeah, he's Cronenberg'd up. It's sick.
Or the Vancouver budget equivalent of Cronenberg'd up, or the Toronto budget equivalent of Cronenberg.
Sure. It was almost like R.L. wrote this knowing that it would be a suit and with a human's eyes in it.
That's just smart writing.
Yeah.
The other thing he knew is that they would hardly be able to talk in the masks, and that's why he gave them all peanut butter mouth.
They do all have pea butt mouth.
They got pea butt mouth. They cannot talk. And I gotta say, he quickly gives up on this idea, and I love it.
It's too big of a pain. So
it's eaten up character count in his book, which he probably should have liked, but their words are elongated because it's so good. They howl everything they say.
It
is so funny. It is so funny. They are talking in this funny full moon fever
Raru
talk.
Speak.
Raru speak. And also are clumsy and extra strong and are just destroying their house as they moan and groan about.
This is like daylight, by the way. This is not a werewolf anymore because that's only at night during a full moon. This is just waking up. What's for breakfast? I think I'll smash through the wall.
This is Hormones the book.
Yeah, this is a puberty metaphor.
They got hit the same night by puberty, and they woke up and they are raging.
Yep. They go downstairs and mom doesn't even recognize them, and she like jabs at him with a broom, and they go ape shit. They start like sweeping the plates and bowls off the table and breaking glass cabinets. They set a trash can on fire and whip it at mom's gut.
She goes for the phone and it pisses off Robbie, and he doesn't even know why, but he gets mad at the phone and rips the phone off of the wall.
RL actually gets artful in this, where he says she grabs the phone and punched in 3 numbers. And it's like, oh man, he didn't even have to say 911. He found a way to show it.
He let me figure it out.
He let me figure it out. He had faith in me.
I already, this book has gone past where most of these books will hit. Like,
yes,
the parents usually can never find out.
Right.
In another book, they would have transformed back to humans for whatever reason, just as mom was going to come in with breakfast, and they won't believe him. Like, oh, you ripped up your sheets. Mm-hmm. You're grounded for a week.
Right.
This is like, no, these 2 kids are thinking about killing Mom.
Yeah. And they run away to protect her. They're
Yeah.
like, we can't be here because we're going to kill Mom. So we got to get out of here.
Robbie realizes that he has no control over his anger and that he will kill Mom. The gas pedal is hit and we're off at this point.
I felt only rage, he said. Red hot rage that made my muscles tighten, that made me grit my jagged teeth and growl. My anger controlled my brain, I realized. Boy, is this a metaphor for people.
Hormones the
When
book.
my mom said anime isn't real, I felt the red hot rage.
I turned on Slipknot and I just had to let the rage out.
So they run out of the house, all right? They're done. They know there's a problem. They got to get out of here. They regroup under a tree and they're still raging a little bit and
There's some kids off in the distance. And they're like, maybe we should eat some kids. But then they catch a squirrel.
they get so hungry. They realize they've got a little hanger and they eat a squirrel and they bury its bones in the next chapter.
It's such a tortured scene. Or like, are we really going to eat a fucking squirrel?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a big fucking thing. And then chapter 13 starts. We felt a little calmer after eating 2 squirrels.
I highlighted that section. That's so funny.
They bury the bones, and then I love this moment, this T.S. Eliot-ass moment that happens here. Robbie they're like trying to figure out what they're going to do, and they realize that they have 30 days to wait until the next moon. And because they remember how it needs to be cured. So they're like, how are we going to solve this? Oh, we got to wait 30 days, but we cannot survive that. And Robbie goes, am I going to have to eat squirrels for 30 days? And I just had to write down this like T.S. Eliot, I measure my days in squirrel bones type of line that he has.
That's actually the French title of this book. Is they didn't go for a literal translation. They went for I measure my days in squirrel bones.
This is a literature for sure.
This is one literature. This is one parentheses one literature.
He did a literature in the last book, and he did a whole ass book of literature this time.
Yeah. It's all here. It's all contained in this book. Everything you can do with the written word, you can do in Full Moon Fever. So the kids decide that Maggie has a brother who's 18 who can drive.
Right.
So
we had not met her brother Clay.
And
I don't think
never
during...
will.
No.
We never will.
it was like eating the trick or treat scene. No, it was not even a thing. It was just he's the only person we know with a car. I guess we had to get to.
He's a brief sound effect at most, right? Is what I think.
That's all you were to me was just a sound effect.
And for those not reading, all of the dialogue, like you said, is dragged out. This is just an example of it. It'd be, I narrowed my eyes at her. Maggie doesn't drive, but her brother Clay, he drives. That's how all of the lines
It's
are.
all elongated, and he quickly drops. And
It's kind of Heath Ledger Joker-esque.
Yes. Wow.
But Clay, he drives.
They got Joker-fied. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They hit puberty and got Joker-fied.
Well, I woke up Joker-fied.
I think it's cool that Joker impressions are back. I like that.
Dude, it's like Borat. It's coming back, baby.
Here's a classic Goosebumps tangent. We'll get right back to it. But I watched the 1989 Batman with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. That movie's fucking awesome.
I know. It's like a real comic book.
It's like, yeah, it's all film language.
Yeah.
Like the script doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
You just look at it.
That hurts me to hear as a sentence, but I think I know what you mean.
It's better when you can do both, Chad. We all know that.
Sorry, the dialogue literally doesn't matter. It did have to be written and storyboard and all this. There's a script, but the actual dialogue itself does not matter and maybe detracts from the work.
That's very fair.
Someone did have to write it, though.
Someone did have to write it. So they decide to go to their school and wait until the day is over for Maggie to come out, and they're going to hide. So they go to a house across the street, and because of the raging hormones in their body, they cannot sit still, and they must destroy. And Robbie begins to sing a song of being a monster, I believe, as he's crushing and destroying things.
I'm a monster.
And then a man comes out after so much of his house has been broken with a rake.
Oh, they're ripping siding off and just flinging it.
They're just wrecking this man's house. So he comes out and he sees them and he grabs a rake. And there is a full-on fight sequence.
Oh my God, I wrote this down too. There's an action fight scene, a full-on action scene in a Goosebumps
Kids
book.
getting hit, men are being thrown. At a point, the rake fight starts to turn on Robbie and his sister. And he decides that he needs to assault a man by biting him in the arm, and he will remember it because he brings it up later in the book.
To be fair, at this point, the rake man, who somehow has the most durable weapon rake I've ever seen.
I just pictured him wielding some sort of like Shaolin rake, like
I feel like a spade or something, like a bladed, a bladed rake. Yeah, this is something like Scorpion was using to like work on his field before he became Scorpion.
Right. It's like the things that the Wolverine hands that you can put on. It's like those things.
Side tangent. We in my house. When we moved in our shed, we found like what looks to be like, remember Moon Shoes?
Yeah, of course.
Moon Shoes?
Yep.
It's like Moon Shoes, but instead of bouncing stuff, it's just a bunch of nails in the bottom. like literally just like, hey, what if there were like sandals with deathly nails, like 3-inch nails at the bottom of it, and we can't figure out what they're for, if they're either for weapons or for like gardening, but they seem like something for sinister purposes.
That's Hellraiser clothes, Chad.
It's very Hellraiser.
I'd say for walking on ice, but I don't believe you have that where you are.
No, yeah. I'll just send you guys a photo. It's fucking wild.
I gotta Hellraiser lived at your house at some point.
You know, that's why before you buy, get the place checked for Hellraisers. Get the place checked for cubes.
You gotta check the house. You gotta check the house facts.
Yeah.
Make sure there's not like a MC Escher infinite maze and stairs in your house. Yeah, you gotta
make sure the house isn't bigger on the inside than the outside. Yep.
Yeah, call Hell Safe.
So this innocent man who was not even who they wanted to talk to, they just couldn't, again, be quiet for a minute in the backyard. I will say, he swings the metal rake into Alicia's head.
Yeah.
And presumably kills her.
Lays her prone.
Knees collapsed, her eyeballs rolled up in her fur-covered head. She fell heavily into the grass. Please, the terrified man begged, just go! Go!
He effectively ends a child in this book.
Yeah.
I also loved his intro dialogue was him going, a big middle-aged man in khakis, a plaid shirt, and hunting boots came running out. He had a furious scowl on his angry red face. Hey! He shouted. Hey! 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 Like, he just keeps saying hey over and over, which is a great way to react to, I don't know why there's two werebagools in my yard.
Werebagools?
I was surprised no one made mention of the fact that it was Halloween, like close to Halloween. Like no one's like, weird Halloween costumes, because that feels like a.
Oh, you're right. Yes, that's 100%.
That feels like a slam dunk.
That's how the kids would get seen, and like the chapter would end, and then the next chapter would begin with weird costumes, and then move on from that. But not in this book. Not in this book that goes pedal to the metal, baby. This one rocks.
I just also like the idea that Rake guy got a critical hit on. on Alicia and just totally like dropped her to 0 hit points and was like, oh shit.
Dude, he one-shot her for sure. And that's what made Robbie go nuts. And Robbie bites his arms and draws blood.
Yeah.
It's messed up. Robbie's gonna remember everything he's done in these moments for the rest of his life.
Then they run away to the sewer to lay low while the cops look for them, and they eat all the poop in the sewer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We need to talk about them eating the poop. They also caused a car accident on the way. They ran across a road. They didn't look.
No.
And they hear the sounds of crashing glass and metal and people screaming before, they decide to live amongst the sewers and they eat a bunch of poo worms.
Yep.
No, and they were eating ground worms and black bugs in the Rake Man's house previously. So bugs have been on the menu for a while, but yes. Alicia reaches down into the sewer water, which we all know what that is, and pulls a dead worm out, and then eats it, and then proceeds to talk, and it is mentioned that the poo worm is still in her teeth. It's disgusting.
Yeah. There's a level of Space Station Silicon Valley for the Nintendo 64 where as a rat you can eat all the poop in the sewer.
Really?
And you're rewarded for that.
Good on that rat.
Well, how? Because there's not achievements in that era of video games. How are you rewarded for?
You get like a power cell, which is part of rebuilding your spaceship.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But yeah, I just the like achievement text of eat all the poop in the sewer has been burned in my brain.
Space Station Silicon Valley. That is a game I have
Oh, it's good. It's a good one. You should check that out.
That one's great. I love that one. It's very weird. So it was made by the team who I think went on to make Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh shit,
that's wild.
And you can kind of see a lot of it in the jumping in and out of animals, like jumping in and out of cars.
Oh yes.
Anyway, they finally find Maggie after school.
Yeah, they pop out of the poo sewer. They see Maggie. She's home. She's wandering home. They run up to her, and she is freaked the F out.
She's trying to run, but they catch up to her. They
don't play this cool at all.
No.
They just run at her, screaming her name in a growly voice.
Maggie.
Rachel.
Like, can you imagine, like, two fucking ghouls, like, two hairy, like, things emerge from the sewer and start screaming your name and charging at you?
Covered in poop.
Covered in poop.
But she sees their eyes. She sees the leech's eyes.
I keep yelling, look at her eyes. No, it's us. They don't even say their names. You're going, it's us. It's us.
But your eyes. Why can I not see my reflection in your eyes? And then she's like, oh, you're my friends. And she takes them home. And she's like, yeah, okay, I get the plan. We'll get my brother to drive you. I'm sure I can convince him. But then Robbie gets a glimpse of Maggie's aquarium. And he's like, you know what I could go for right about now is to just have a really, like, long couple of paragraphs where I describe the exact, like, sensations of reaching into into an aquarium and eating all the fish.
Eating a giant goldfish. And I love he does it and then feels instant new teenager remorse and says, we're disgusting animals. And that is when I realized that this was truly a puberty allegory.
I love that follow-up line. I bit that man with the rake. Do you believe it? I bit a man.
I bit a man.
I bit a man.
Oh, we're not even there yet. Hold on. We're not even at I bit a man today. They do this. Then after he eats the fish, Maggie hates him because he ate her pet. And then we hear the Foley footsteps of as Clegg begins to come down the stairs, but because they didn't want to pay for a speaking or even extra role, they just left him as Foley. They run outside and they go into hiding once more to try and figure out a new plan. And in the interim, they decide, I think what they do is they decide that they're not going to be able to get a ride, so they're going to have to walk.
And they're kind of talking about their regrets, being like, I can't believe all this happened. I bit a man, and
oh well, hold on.
Well, that's not the big I bit a man, but there is an I bit a man.
There is. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, and this was also the part where they're walking along the highway, and a car swerves and stops, and they hide, and then it pulls off, and they go back to the road and see that a little bunny has been run over, and Robbie, who's apparently not feeling any regret or remorse about what he's done today, lifts it up and says, do you want white meat or dark?
I think that I laughed out loud. That was fucking funny.
We're in full campy horror mode here, and I think fully intentionally in this one. I think RL knew what he was doing. I think he was having a great time.
RL, you did it. Like, this is the apex of the form. Like, this is, like, I hope you did it. I think this might be him.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it's so different than the other ones. I have to wonder if it's an outlier.
I just think he was hydrated. Maybe he had a little extra time. Maybe he was fresh off a vacation or something like that.
I'm thinking he spent a little time outdoors. Maybe he went to Vancouver and saw some beautiful woodlands, and he was really inspired and connected with the spirit of the earth.
I think maybe he bit a man, and he's like, I got to talk about this experience.
I got to tell my abuelo John about this.
Paul, I really hope you didn't just go onto Google and was like different names for Grandpa.
I sure did.
From that list.
I sure did.
Nice.
It's good. Pro move, Paul.
Thank you.
Old pro.
So these monsters, they probably got like a decent land speed. I gotta imagine. Like, they gotta be able to go like 15, 20 miles per hour.
They don't run, they don't walk, they lope.
Who are the scary internet people who run on all fours?
I don't know this. Is this in your
scary internet people?
Yeah, okay, don't look it up.
No, I don't. Ew, no, you're not even making me think about it, which is scarier.
Yeah, don't look it up. It's
Is this
very
a monster,
weird.
like a cryptid?
No, this is just what some people do for fun.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Are you talking about those costumes that people make?
I wish, Paul. I wish.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Anyway, we make it to Grandfather Jonathan's, where they break in the door and immediately start menacing him.
He is scared. He does not know what he's seeing.
They're about to kick the shit out of Grandpa John. They're like, how do we solve full moon fever? And he's like, it's a story. It's not real.
I made it up.
And they're like, you lie. We have the full moon fever right now. And in the back, like, the three of us are just going, candy bar. Candy bar.
I honestly did not see the candy bar part coming to this
No,
point.
I knew it.
I don't know. I'd kind of forgotten about it and just was like, oh yeah, I guess this is some sort of magic moonbeam.
The only reason I knew was because they ate it and then instantly decided to howl at the moon at that moment. So I just knew it was just like, oh, well, they're setting us up for this moment right here. So
the only reason I knew is that their costumes were absolute dog shit, and the lady said that their costumes were good. And then RL really hedged it when he said, I couldn't quite see what was on the wrapper, but I squinted to make it out, and it said Best Bar. And I'm like, what's a few letters off of Best Bar? Beast Bar.
I was thrown off because, like, why is this not a name brand when the Crunch Bar is name brand? I was wondering about that.
The clues were there. This isn't bad. Like, it's not bad to have that, like, that obvious of, like, a twist, because we're not meant to, like or want to be around these two main characters. Like, they're not great.
No, even as they wail at their grandfather. That they for the cure, and he, in a very Jonathan Frakes voice, says, "We made it up." He says there is no
work
cure.
of fiction.
Work of fiction.
We got you.
It was a lie.
This is where the line that you were looking for, Paul. Of don't you understand? We're monsters who kill things to eat them. I bit a man, I growled at Grandpa John. I bit a man today, and it tasted good. What will I do next time? I'm a monster.
I love that, because I just pictured the hammiest, like, child actor performance for those lines.
Yeah, it's a fantastic moment, some fantastic lines. Only nearly bested by a line that follows up. As they are raging at Grandpa John. At that moment, I think we both realized we were going to eat Grandpa John.
Amazing line.
That gets my Golden Goose Award for the year.
Yeah. Oh my God, we should start giving out Golden Goose Awards. I love that.
Giving out Golden Goose this whole time. Retroactively, the first Golden Goose.
The goose that laid the golden bump.
I will give this a golden bump as well.
Yeah, that line. And at that moment, I think we both realized that we were going to eat Grandpa John.
And incredible, like how did the censors let this one go? This one is just filled with
so good.
It's so crazy, because now, so this happens, right? And then they're like, Grandpa, you gotta help us. And he's like, okay, we're gonna go. They're like, well, let's find the woman that you talked to. Maybe she knows the cure, right? And he goes, okay, and he calls their parents, makes up a lie. Grandpa John goes to fucking the mats with them, dude. He is a rider's guy.
He's lonely.
He is lonely.
I know, but also he's like, Grandpa John is doing everything he can so that these kids can go back somehow to a normal life without their parents ever being upset. Like, yeah, he's like, he even says, I'll bring him home in a few days. I'll explain everything then. Clearly hangs up. Parents are just left to go, okay, fine.
All right, they're with old folk John, so we're okay.
They're like, well, monsters are real and our children are unaccounted for, but I trust my dad. So.
Nothing to worry about now. He buys tickets. He gets them cargo tickets, which is dangerous because that is not a air treated part of the plane, and they could have frozen to death. Which they're in the cargo as well, and they do consider eating some of the dogs that are locked in there with them, which was a scary moment for all of us readers.
This is over the course of like 2 pages, by the way. Like, I mean, this book's flying. It's kind of immediately Grandpa John going, hold on, eat this frozen meat. I'll be right back. Does not abandon them. Grandpa John is ride or die. Comes back immediately with just get in these cargo crates that I just bought.
Yep.
These are big monsters, I think, right? Like, these are at least children's size.
They're at least children's size, and they can smash doors with one punch.
But they do make it to Canada, and they find the old woodswoman, and she is gadded up.
She points a gun at a child.
Yep, she takes the Mac out of her knapsack.
Damn.
And points it at a child. But the kids do kind of break her door. And it's like, the one good part about living in the woods is you don't get strange knocks at the door all the fucking time. So.
He's right.
Yeah. Not to go back too much. I just wanted to talk about the detail of when they landed in Canada, they rented a Jeep. And the way it was just described made me think that just Grandpa John was driving, but they're just sitting like shotgun with their seatbelts on as Grandpa John just drives them up Canada.
With two beasts hanging out the Jeep.
Yeah, just two beasts just sitting like human beings in the car, like, we're going up to Canada today.
It's like the beginning of Zoolander, but with two beasts.
Yeah, exactly. The absurdity of just immediately going, well, we're just going to put them on a plane, and there's an airlines, and there's the only non-interesting chapter break of while they're waiting in their cargo things where no one can see them, two flight people are like, wait, don't put those two boxes on the plane. Chapter break. I mean those other two boxes. These two with the beasts in them, they're good to go. Whew.
The other thing about the Jeep is it's not a very concealed vehicle. He could have rented a van.
Yeah.
He picked the most conspicuous vehicle he could pick.
But maybe Canada doesn't care about half child, half wolf monsters. Like, maybe Canada's cool about it. Yeah, maybe they're just like, oh, that's fine.
So they arrive, Grandma's got a gun, and she's not hearing it. She also says, we made it up. It was all a lie.
We made it up.
But she does have one lead, and that's a Dr. Thorne, crazy Dr. Thorne, she calls him, and she gives him the directions. So they go to Dr. Thorne's, but Dr. Thorne isn't in. Dr. Thorne, Jr. is, a.k.a. Wolf.
A.k.a. Roger, but he prefers to go by Wolf. He's a big, red-haired weirdo guy with a big flopping belly, I guess.
Non-freaked out. Again, most of these people are dealing with beast children pretty well.
Well,
but
yeah, you're right. This is like very, very nonplussed by Dr. Thorne Jr., Robert Wolf, whatever his name is.
The Wolfykins family notes that there are lots of nets and boats around.
Yes.
And remark on the strangeness of that, being that they are by no body of water. To which Wolf replies, "Oh, that's for the flood."
Oh my god, the flood part was insane.
He was ready for climate change.
He said, "Why do you have a?" Well, he just said next to the red boat. Why do you have a boat here in the middle of the woods? Someday soon, this will all be underwater. It goes on to say, the rains will come, the woods will flood, this will be a raging river, and Dad and I will be ready for it. We'll be the only ones who are ready. So they are preparing for a biblical flood of some sort, unrelated to this story.
At that point, you should have been like, I don't think you guys can help us. But it shows their desperation that they're like, sure, these guys live in the woods. He's a discredited doctor who believes that the world will come to an end at a very near point.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I love
there's also like, again, there's no connecting thread between the old lady and Dr. Thorne. It's not like she going like, well, I heard the story about full moon fever from Dr. Thorne. You should talk. It is literally just, I know no one else. Go talk to this doctor. All right. New adventure.
Yep. And I love that. I don't know. I have this written down. I don't know if this takes place right after he talks about the climate change, but Robbie says, I've never tasted wolf meat to Wolf, which is a pretty sick thing to say to somebody to threaten them.
Yeah. Now, you listener might be listening, why is his name Wolf? They ask him that, and he goes, beats me, and he laughs. So, the fact that there's a character named Wolf in a book about wolf people, it's nothing. There's no connection.
It doesn't matter, and it doesn't even matter that he was his son.
It doesn't matter.
Because he's not his son. He is Dr. Thorne, as he pulls off a mask and a fake outfit that he was wearing, and then goes,
yep,
he keeps me company. That's it.
Always wanted a son.
Always wanted a son, so he has multiple personalities where he dresses up for himself.
Yep.
And I guess just lives his life with his flood boat.
Anyway, they're like, okay, well, that's weird, but can you help us? And he's like, sure, I can help you. And he reads a bunch of books, and then he's like, okay, I can't help you, but I can help you. And they're like, what? And he pulls a lever, and all the nets fall on them, and they're off to the circus.
They get Pinocchioed into the circus.
Well, I mean, this is so far off the reservation now, but I just loved that Wolf / Dr. Thorne / Rob or whatever lives a life with trap nuts in his house.
Yes.
He's ready for anything.
And all the time. Yeah.
He's prepared. This man is prepared. He's prepared. He's prepared to capitalize on a business opportunity as well.
He's also prepared to abuse an old man as he locks.
Yeah, it'd feel
Grandpa
like a
John.
camper or something like that.
Yeah, he handcuffs him inside of a camper.
It's dark.
That's too real, RL. That's too fucking real.
It's dark. And you know what I love about this? I really love this part because it switches to a first-person present tense, which is a very interesting tense for a Goosebumps book. I don't think we've ever had one in that. So it's cool. We're living in the moment inside of Robbie's head as people throw banana peels at them and mock them and tickle their feet. And we're forced to ask the question, are people the monsters?
Oh my God, Paul. I love the way this just kind of ramps up to now we're doing a different book.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that first person is like, and now we're part of a traveling carnival. People buy their tickets and stare at us as we're zoo animals. Big caps.
Yep.
Dr. Thorne's Monster Kids. They once were human, now they are beasts.
God. And they're stuck there for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not a short engagement.
Yep.
And Dr. Thorne's just raking in the cash.
$5 a pop to see us.
$5 American dollars.
$5
There are other people complicit in this show.
Yeah.
There are workers.
No, yeah, there's like fake. Also, they signed up 2 other quote unquote freaks for the show.
That's right.
A 2-headed boy and a woman with a fishtail, but they're both fakes. Their costumes weren't very good. Audiences are interested in them. They're here to see me, Alicia, to be the real monsters. How is Dr. Thorne making a profit off of this? Obviously, he's not paying Alicia and him.
No.
But like,
he's paying the other 2. I mean, shades of the Last Unicorn here. He's really gussying them up. But
I know,
they're
right?
Not the real
Well,
deal.
if it was the Last Unicorn, I thought it would be funny if the mermaid and the 2-headed boy made more money, like they were the attractions, and like the real deals were just a sideshow that no one really got.
They're the ones to scare the customers off when the show's gone on too long. They're the denouement.
he didn't have these before. He just went, I suddenly find myself with 2 beast children.
Well,
I think a circus is what's needed.
I respect
He had the contacts. He's like, I was waiting for a third.
Now we got a show.
Now we got a show.
So the kids get tired of this life, and they know that they have to escape because there's a moon that's coming, because they've been here for 3 weeks. It's been a full month almost, and they're like, we can escape, and we can find a way to see the moon and to escape this wolf man life that we live. And their plan is to lay down and not move when he comes to feed them, and then jump him when he inevitably walks into the cage.
Which is a very, like, a lot of this book is like the pull between the human and the animal.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids are on like the knife's edge. Which are they more? Are they more human or are they more beast? Like, they regret like humans, but they feast like beasts. And when they form this plan and it fails because Dr. Thorne's just like, oh, the full moon's coming up, I'm just not going to feed them because they're going to try and escape to
he freaking knows.
The full moon.
They could do this any other night. It seems like they could overpower him pretty easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How do they get out? I can't remember because the plan doesn't really work.
They just slam against the bars until they bend them with their beast strength.
Oh, that's right.
They're like, okay, well, we made a plan like humans, so let's just beat the bars down like beasts,
and it
that
works.
gets them out. Yeah,
and they escape. They throw Doctor what's his name, Dr. Thorne into a cage, and they release their grandfather. And before they head home, well, did you have something else to say about this scene, Kevin?
Just that it's interesting that it feels earned.
Yeah,
it does. It does.
Like, they make a plan, and the plan fails, and then they pivot to like bestial strength.
Right.
And it's like, it just kind of feels on theme. Like,
yeah.
Thorne's only been in the last like 20 pages of this book, and I felt cathartic about watching him suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually mad that they didn't kill him.
RL wrote this one during a solar flare because he speedrun to making Dr. Thorne a good villain.
Yeah.
I love that before they decide to head back from Vancouver to Philadelphia, I guess, Grandpa calls and he's like, "Don't worry, I'm with the kids. We've been in the woods. We will be home soon.
We were captured by a crazy mad scientist who made us perform in a freak show, and I've been chained to the inside of a trailer for 3 weeks. without fresh water.
But don't worry, the kids are okay.
What does he actually tell them? Just like, don't worry, we'll be home. It all will make sense when we get home.
But he says they're in for a huge shock, which is a great thing to tell somebody when their kids have been missing for a month.
Well, I mean, prepare them.
Yeah.
You know how hey, child, either daughter or son, however I'm your grandfather. You know how like you have a wanted, look out for me for stealing your grandchildren?
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got him. You'll see him at some point. You're in for a big surprise.
It's gonna be hell.
At that point, I assume that Grandpa John has like sewn them together or something.
Hey, you know how a mother's love will always like recognize her own, like there's nothing more pure than the bond between a mother and her child.
Of course.
Well, it turns out you don't got that. You shoot your kids out of the house with a broom. Anyway, they do get back to Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, or wherever they're supposed to be located.
Yeah,
in,
and
Paul's head.
They try to do the moon thing after they escape, and it doesn't work. And they're like, "Oh shit, we're fucked." And they get back to Philly, and they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And they go home, and
they try not to eat their own dog.
And they run up to their rooms, and their candy is still there. The parents couldn't bear it. They had to leave it. They couldn't put the candy away. And
they had too much grief to put away anything in their rooms.
So the kids see the bars. They start to eat and shove them into their mouths bestially, as they have been doing. And Scruffy runs in with the foreshadowing paying off with something in its mouth, because dogs like to pick things up with their mouths. And it's a bar. And it says Best Bar. But then he flips it over. Robbie flips it over and goes, I misread it. It says Beast Bar. This is a Mr. Beast branded candy bar. He's going to buy me a house now.
Mr. Beast carrying 1,000 kids of Beastum for videos.
The first 1,000 views will be cured of their full moon fever.
Will he stop preying on those who have had tragic lives for money?
And they realize Miss Eakins played them. And I love this part. They realize that Miss Eakins played them. And we, in my mind, if I was directing this episode, we smash cut to interior shot of Miss Eakins' house, her front door, as it is smashed open by the kids. And they run in and they're screaming, Eakins! Eakins! And they're just wrecking the house, throwing things. And Robbie even says in his internal monologue, it felt so right.
Don't Stop Me Now is playing in the background as they crash through.
Miss Eakins runs down and she's like, well, you finally... And she gets grabbed by Alesha by the throat, and she throws her up against the wall, and she's choking her out. And Robbie, quote, says he runs over to help finish off the struggling woman. He is going to murder this woman.
Oh my God, how did this get past the censors? This is such the raw as hell ending.
It's absurd.
And like they're gonna kill this woman. And she's about to do her villain monologue and like gloat at them, and they just fucking pin her to a wall and like compress her windpipe. So it's brutal.
If only they hadn't run into a small cabinet and knocked out a bunch of candy
If
bars.
only.
And the bars say cure bars on them, and they're like, we don't need to murder a person. We can be cured of beasthood. So they pick up an armful of cure bars and
wolf them down.
They go to town and they're like laughing and skipping and jumping, and then they get thinnered.
They get holy shit! They got thinner. I didn't even think about it. Smaller.
And
smaller.
Well, they also did stick around long enough to see Mrs. Eakins cast a spell on them. Like theoretically, if they had taken the cure bars and immediately left, the other ingredient of the spell casting from Mrs. Eakins maybe wouldn't have happened.
Perhaps it wouldn't have.
Who can say what the rules of magic are in RL's metaverse?
Yeah.
It's pretty loose because she apparently needs to cast the spell on you, but she also needs to create a branded candy bar that has a wrapper with the logo on it and everything. So I don't know.
Yeah, did she get?
Why did she print them?
Did she? Yeah.
I bet, you know what? I bet she gets it from like there's somewhere sort of like Witch Costco.
Okay, I was gonna say
that's a Goosebumps book. Is
just Witch Costco.
different ingredients, and she has a membership, and like by having these, it helps kind of like it gives you active ingredients you need for your spell casting.
It's like, get this, it's a curse bar, but you can kind of crinkle it so it looks like it says cure. That way, you give it to a kid, he picks it up, he thinks he's being cured, but then you whisper your curse, bing, bang, boom, he's smaller.
That's pretty convenient.
So they become micro beasts, and you would think this is where the book ends, but in fact, there's much more that happens in this book. They become small. They do battle with on the Ant-Man. They do battle in the Ant-Man realm.
They go to Quantumania, yeah.
They go Quantumania.
MODOK shows up, yeah.
Yeah, they get so small that they actually invert and turn big, and then it's like a whole kaiju end to this, where like Grandpa Joe is trying to get them to go into the sea.
Turns out Tom Petty lives in the Quantumania too. Sings them a song. There's a whole song sequence in it.
Yeah, and Robbie, after killing Alicia, just feels so sad, and he knows that, the square cube law is eventually going to crush him, so he retreats into the sea in order to live out his last few days.
It's a beautiful, literate ending, and there's a lot of meat on this one. I don't want to talk too much about the end because I would like for people to read it themselves.
Yeah, and you should listen to Tom Petty's Refugee. Just you read the ending.
This is an amazing book.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. The way the book actually ends is pretty great. It ends with just the words curse bar. Like it's a punchline, and it works. It's like, it's good. I have no notes for this book.
No, I was not mad about it. I was completely happy with the ending because it had so thoroughly committed to the absurdity of this thing. Yeah, that I was on board for any way it wanted to go, and RL did it. Good job, RL.
I love the Beast Bar as a concept. A cursed candy bar is such a good like Goosebumps idea, and I know like it's kind of on the edge of like Monster Blood and like the weird bread in How I Learned to Fly or whatever, like some cursed food.
It's like Hansel and Gretel, it's like tied into some legit folklore. It's great.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think like he thoroughly examines this like bestial sort of thing, the cravings and like the eating gross stuff. Like it's a real gross out book, which is really fun.
Is. There's so much. We didn't hit all the times to just describe the way different animal meat slid down their throat and the way it tastes. It's very about the umami flavor of a squirrel.
Like lifeblood warm and like frozen cold and like roadkill flat, like all these different like meat textures.
The 5 flavors of road animal. They taste them all.
One thing I thought they were foreshadowing that I really wanted to see was I wanted Scruffy to eat a Beast Bar.
I did too.
Oh.
Kevin, I thought they were coming home because the parents weren't there when they showed up, and I was like, Scruffy's going to be beasted up, and they're going to have to fight Scruffy.
Oh man, Final Boss Scruffy would have been amazing.
I thought there was some sort of foreshadowing earlier. I think it was Scruffy like licks Mom's lips.
Oh yes, she loves it too. She lets him do it.
And they talk about how gross that was. Like that's gonna go somewhere. It's like give your mom a kiss as a beast.
What if Scruffy ate it and he had it all over his tongue and she let him do it, and then she got beasted and then Dad got beasted?
What if Scruffy got beasted the other way because the Beast Bar makes you half
reverse
human,
beast.
Half beast? He's already full beast. What if he was brought in like into the human realm?
What if he became a master? What if he became a mastermind and then masterminded their demise?
Yeah, he became more human than animal.
Oh boy, we got a second book. We got a sequel on our hands, guys.
How My Dog Destroyed My Life.
How My Dog Became My New Older Brother.
And now I work at Witch Costco. Oh, guys, I think that was a bump.
Oh, we
that
bumped.
Was a hell of a bump. What a great way to coronate 150 episodes with like a good book.
We had to go 150 episodes, but we finally got a good one, guys.
We figured it out. We nailed it.
We're gonna keep going.
Oh, we're not done. Oh, okay. All right.
Making sure it's actually we got one good one. We're good. We're gonna keep running into Goosebumps 2000. We're almost out of them. And then we're going to make a big call on what series we're reading next. If you really want to help guide the direction of this podcast, as well as support it, you can go to patreon.com/goosebuds, where not only will your pledging, fund the show and keep the digital lights on.
And also the physical lights on.
Oh, the physical lights. Yeah, I don't know why I made it metaphorical. They're physical lights running because of you all. You also get to access our very cool Discord with an amazing community. And get access to, at this point, it's got to be dozens upon dozens of bonus Camp Goosebud episodes where it's us hanging around the digital campfire and chewing the fat.
If you like the beginning tangent section, it's whoops all tangents.
Yeah, I think there's got to be at least like I've been editing that for like 5 years, right? So there's got to be at least 60.
Yeah, there's at least a couple of days worth of content for you to listen to.
If you want to hear the hot topical goss that was happening in 2018, then you gotta listen to some old Camp Goosebuds.
It's good stuff. We also have candy bars that they're called Archie bars. They'll turn you into Chad's dog Archie, and you can live with him for a week.
Aww.
We should figure out how to make those.
Yeah, I wanna become Archie for a week and live with Chad.
Aw, I'd give you guys all the belly rubs.
Aw.
You could be a little blind walking around the floor, not knowing where the couch is.
We don't know. We could never know.
Guys, do you have anything you want to like point people towards? Check out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I make video games sometimes. If you want to play one of my video games, Hack is currently in a bundle for earthquake relief for Turkey and Syria. So if you want to do some good and play a cool video game and play like 200 more like really cool games and projects and TTRPGs, and there's like a zine maker and stuff. It's a really cool bundle on Itch right now that my game is a part of, but there's also a lot of good stuff. If you go onto the Itch homepage, you should find it. It's like their featured bundle right now. It's like the Itch bundle for earthquake relief in Turkey and Syria. Check it out. It's a good cause, and you'll play some cool games. So that's my thing to promote.
That's great stuff. I will also promote Kevin's stuff. Just do Kevin's stuff. GiveKevinMoney.com.
Yeah. I get no money from that bundle. We're just doing it to help folks. If you want to actually help me materially, come give me $1 on GiveKevinMoney.com. It would really make my life a whole lot easier. And you'd get. I recently started doing What's Up Wednesdays again. So even if you just give me $1, you'll get a whole new blog type thing to look forward to every week. Which maybe doesn't sound exciting to you, but you should be excited because What's Up Wednesdays, a lot a lot of people really like them.
It's really nice.
You write a good blog.
It's a very nice
Thank you.
blog.
I went to school for it.
It's always insightful. Every time I read one, I'm like, this is a beautiful, insightful little blog post. It's great.
Yeah, I kind of forgot because I haven't done What's Up Wednesdays for a while now. I did them for Hack and for Project Maiden, and then I think I tried doing them elsewhere. But like, I haven't done What's Up Wednesdays for a while. I forget that's kind of how I got people to care about my game, by letting them into my brain a little bit. So if you want a deeper insight into my video games, you can go to GiveKevinMoney.com and help a lad out if you feel like it.
Get in the brain.
Yeah. There are also exclusive video games and videos and all sorts of stuff. So check it out.
Thank you all again for listening to this show.
Oh my God. Yeah.
A very cool, silly joke of a project that's become something bigger. And I am glad to share it with Paul and Kevin and Dom in the past. It's been a very cool project to do with you guys.
Yeah. I can't believe this thing that we started many, many years ago. What was that? Like 2014?
Wow.
Something around then. That we started reading these books, like you said, as a goof, and people have caught on, and we've created our own creatures, our own books, our own shows about Shaq.
Secretly Shaq.
All kinds of stuff. We've created
our own religions.
Ice Church, which we haven't talked about in a while. We should get back to Ice Church.
Yeah.
We should get back to Ice Church.
Just so many things. And it's just...
a bounty.
A bounty of things, and it's been beautiful, and I love you guys, and I love Dom, and I'm glad we've been able to do this, and I look forward to 150 more, guys.
Wow. But after that, no more.
No more. That's 300's enough.
Probably enough.
I won't do any more than the number of Spartans that died on that one day.
So enjoy the downhill slope, everybody.
We're on the other side.
Love you all. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
This show is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon supporters, and we want to thank the greatest of all the supporters from the Book of Names.
Book of Names.
First we have Stefan Jive Turkey Kuwabara,
Hollis Hornbeak,
Low Belly Hate Me,
Cameron Murphy Audio,
Michael McDowell,
Hey Josh Robb,
Mickey C,
Nathan Dolezal,
Mike Lanteri,
Buddy Morrill,
Ilcade,
Mel Dipson,
Af Sheen,
Brian Wells,
Dango Twists,
Centicles.
Stealth Bates.
Robert Boone.
Jason Crooker.
Clay Castle.
Miguel Pardo.
John Keaty.
Gaff.
New Paranoia Shop content coming soon. No, it's not.
How do you always get that one?
The Juggalobalist. Wow.
Ooh.
That's new.
Gregory D. Warren.
Alan Saylor.
Cody Redfield.
Bradford Coulter.
Aiden pledges their hammer to Dwarf Daddy Kevin.
Ooh, Dwarf
Thank
Daddy.
you, dwarf child.
Jar Jar Slinks.
Chosen One pledges his cadre of musketeers to House Kevin. Thank you, musket children.
Levi Than.
Up in Champ.
Jonas Eggman.
Carl.
Anthony Mulberry.
The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
Elusive Koala.
Yanni Markovina.
Brooke X.
Jesus Christ.
Christian Van Skeever.
Drew Applegate.
Jeremy Lowe.
Brian Hobgood.
Zach Connor.
Patreon_donator, comma, yo.
Joe, Spooky Digital Ghost, Tierney.
Tom Whittam.
Andrew Jadzak pledges his grizzled empathy skills to unite Chad, Kevin, and Paul against a true enemy.
Oh my God, Andrew
Aw.
Wood. Andrew Wood. Thank you, Andrew.
Climate change.
Gonna take on climate change.
Just attack it until it dies.
Don't worry, we've got hammers. We've got muskets. We're gonna be good.
It's got a big health bar. We just gotta chip it down.
Chip damage, baby. Lord Cornwallis.
Carson Birkenbean.
Murphy P.
Alicia Grafe. That was weird. That was a weird way to say that. I'm sorry, Alicia.
Tevin Ticklebean. The Chad Swan.
Yeah, got one. Sean Minogue.
Rushy Glenn.
Wiggle it.
Luke LaFountain.
Chip Handsome.
Matt McClellan.
John Barber.
Sarah Kemp.
Tanya Turtle.
Jonas Blotterman.
Juan Jalapena.
Keith Halcrow.
Timothy Misadilakis.
Clay McCarty.
Paul Grasso.
Parker Lee.
Joe, regular name Scott. I'm just gonna. I was waiting to see how long you guys would let me go with that voice before you called me out.
Ham_oat.
Alex Moon, the robotic dog.
Oh, Raymond Hernandez.
Flemily.
The Crowfens, but a college graduate.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Oh my
did it.
God, it's like watching a child grow up.
Kind of.
Kinda.
I think.
Do I want kids?
Did I have a kid? Matthew Sutton.
Jeffrey Owen Cahy.
Kelsey Kinnaman.
Luke Noodles.
Russell Castberg.
Javier Jimenez.
Chris Putrecus.
Scottie Pippen.
Hugh Bolin.
Zambambino.
Dungeon Kappa.
Grand Moff Hamster has located the plaque base on Planet Tooth.
Yeah, fight gingivitis.
Yeah, get it, hamster. Do the flossing for me. Zach Ware.
Limp Duck.
Brendan Arafin.
Tobias Clark.
Meet Virginia.
Nathan Remick.
Need more kimchi.
Andre Villanueva.
Reed Stubendick.
I'd like to take a moment to just say that Need More Kimchi lives in my head rent-free. Anytime I tell Jen that we need more kimchi to buy some, I have to think of Need More Kimchi's name. Thank you for being there. Joey Evans.
I don't know if anyone has documented the psychological effects of saying the same couple of names every month, but it definitely comes up in my brain too. Estamena, Lord of Paul's Pants.
I think of every one of these names every night before I go to bed and close my eyes, hoping that I wake up the next day so that I can keep making them laugh.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Carewise Gamgee.
This is our prayer. Chris Otherworldly Nightwear Hard-On Nelson.
Swaggy Yellow Squire wants you to know that I love you all. If anybody wants hugs, HMU. Cowabunga.
Aw, bunga, baby.
Cameron Hansen.
Kieran McNamara.
Diet Soda.
Generally depressing.
The Deadly Bulb.
Jackie Ledoux.
Coleman Laguza.
Lamb.
Ben Bohan.
A pair of Scots.
Levi Kidder.
David Gray.
Anthony pledges their blade to the Goosiest buddy.
Ooh.
It's a goose off. Bryce Diori.
Matthew Bertato.
Carbson.
I am Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole.
Jonas Enevoldsen.
Calamity Carl.
Germ Juice.
Nick Johnson.
Boney.
Dr. Diarrhea.
Some of Chad's bird friends, we pledge our talons and sharpened beaks to Chad.
Cacaw.
Yeah, I love you, birds. I love you, birds.
Caw.
Nicholas Maloney.
Burger's Wonderful World.
Stephen Day.
Eric Horwitz.
Tiffany Lee.
Dr. Eggdrop Soupman.
Ryan Carroll.
Jeremy Bowser.
Thomas Jancis.
Lucretia McEvil.
Mutant Astronaut.
Henry Torbert.
Ninja Breadman.
Megan McCormick Mason.
Peanutberg level 69.
Adam Knapp.
Heloticus Frenchland. Think about that one a lot, too.
I think about that, yeah. Aaron Lord.
Dr. Chocula pledges every claw and fang under his command to
Yes!
balls.
The king of chocolate is on my side.
Bleh.
Logan Derby.
Vampires say bleh. Brad Schmelzer.
They're always spinning things out. Cut that doesn't make any sense. Chick.
No, it does. They got stuff in those big old chompers of theirs. Plavish.
Robot Arena.
Callum, Mr. Misfire West.
Mandy Nasty.
Skullatorin.
Yoplin.
SSJ Trogdor.
Philip Reynolds.
Chicago Frank returns.
Nate Bit G.
Mr. Unimportant pledges this cool rock he found to whoever last trimmed their beard.
I did it last week.
It was a month ago.
I do not have one, so I've automatically lost.
I got a rock.
Nice.
I got a rock.
I got a rock.
That'll show climate change.
Ryan R. Davis.
Scott Wable.
Rocco.
Josh Howell pledges his zealotry to whomever needs it most.
That's not very zealous of you, Josh.
Is that really you, Josh?
None of us need it.
Oh, no. We all need it. We all need it the most. We love you,
Need
Josh.
your zealotry.
We love you. We miss you. We should be playing games with him right now. Mike Spaghetti Jones.
Evan Bowen.
Chris.
Greg Musto. Oh, my gosh.
Sean Aston masters the Gundam Death Scythe Hell Amber by 311 AMV.
What?
Death Scythe killing people to Amber is a hell of a combo.
What?
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I think I got the inflection all wrong in that one, but it doesn't matter. I didn't know which proper nouns were which. All right, so Sean Aston is mastering the Gundam Death Scythe Hell. That's part of the Death Scythe. And then Amber by 311 AMV. Okay. Yeah. I'll remember it.
It's locked
I
in.
think, I honestly, not to tell you, Sean Astin, I think Come Original would have worked a little bit better for that one. Soggy Newspapers.
Chris Kulik.
Dakota Kemp.
John W.
Hi, first time, long time.
Ellie Rose.
Sprinkle Buds.
Hilda B.
Saturn Video.
Kiwi of Lerv.
Serial Killer X.
Wade Norcross.
Liam Rogers.
Ollie_Suts.
Kate the Great.
Mike Hart.
Kit Bush.
Benjamin Luther.
Sierra Sin.
Cassandra Harris.
Gulliver.
Dennis Wright. Oh, it's not as spooky as the name.
Yova the Moon.
Edgar's Crassus.
Cameron Genseveld.
That last name was my favorite.
Soap.
Big Nick Lane.
Kira and Brian are big fans.
Matt Septor.
Greg Gervasi, a.k.a.
Vita
Zed.
Zed.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Greg.
The Office of the Goblin Grader.
Blake Bad Time Havin' Cavan.
Chad's Balzac on the attack in the new Eminem track tonight at 11.
I don't really know how Eminem works his way into this, but I'm glad he's here.
I didn't know you had a Tanuki sack going there, Chad.
Yeah.
Anthony Rodriguez.
B.
I feel like Eminem would be really tickled by the idea of Tanukis if he knew what they
I
were.
think so, too. He'd rap about him fast.
Yeah.
That's a hot coffee pot. Dan Antonio.
Philip, OG, Quicksand Truther, and Blade Pledger Hamill, the first Blade Pledger.
Wow.
Maybe.
Jeff Webb is still a big baby, but we both sincerely appreciate your well wishes.
Would love an update on Jeff Webb's situation.
Alpaca acquaintance, DDS.
S.
Taraku, the thing that goes doink in the anime. All together now.
CM, Crystal Maiden.
Farrah. Whoop.
Spencer Y.
Jesse.
Chris Curto.
Cole Gleason.
James Stavranos.
Bjarn Deer.
Tan Earhide.
Jesse Boggs.
Did Robbie's mom say that one? Michael Malloy.
Chris, the official Goosebuds chronicler and Ledgerman buyers.
Hell yeah.
Kyle O'Neill.
Greb Comics.
Goon Cahoots.
Adam Brundle.
Babette pledges her feasties to Paul.
Yeah.
She makes the best feasties.
Anthony Stoker.
Dog Lips Gajoyan.
Gunnar Toland.
Brony Danza.
Max.
Zindane.
Hurt, aka Cyberbullet.
Don't do that.
Crank 2 High Voltage. Hell of a movie.
Brandon Nichols.
Angelo Edward Longton Santone pledges the Holy Blade of Justice to Paul.
I have the Holy Blade of Justice.
You got all the blades. Smellodies.
Blarbin pledges his insect glaive to Kevin.
Yes.
Is that a Monster Hunter weapon?
Strike down global warming. Funny.
Sorry. Just laugh. Talene Jones.
Bacon.
Logan Kilgus.
Boss Ferratu.
Nice.
Whoa.
Starship 9.
Munch Squad.
And welcome to the Book of Names. New names, starting with Caleb Snyder, Grandmaster of Spells and Enchantments, who pledges his wizard staff and ancient tome to Paul.
Wizardry and the Holy Blade. Climate change is screwed.
Might as well forget about climate change because it's over.
Time to climate change its name to Dun Change. What?
What?
Welcome. Hello, Lumo Nuva.
Welcome, Brian Udith.
Welcome, a tall glass of dumb bitch juice.
Oh, we got welcome into the clubhouse a proper spaceman.
We welcome Bobby of the Eastwood, Unlockener of Worlds.
The unlocking begins.
The unlocking.
That's a big deal.
Just start the unlocking.
Hello and well met, Joseph Lavers.
Hail, Volsoy.
Hey, Ray Thompson.
Salutations, Brian Storo.
3 a.m. sleep. May your days be long and your hardships few.
And let us close out the book with the most powerful name that is currently being read by me, Colin Reagan.
Oh, the light has grown so strong.
Thank you all so very much. We love you.
Thank you.
Fight climate change.